Judge Elias Thorne was known throughout the state for his absolute moral clarity. His courtroom was a temple of unflinching justice, and his judgments were swift and severe, particularly towards those he deemed morally weak. Elias believed his life was a shining example of righteousness, and he often quoted the Bible to condemn the small failings of others. He saw the speck in his neighbor's eye, but remained completely blind to the plank that shadowed his own soul. While Elias judged others for petty theft and minor dishonesty, he maintained a profound, dark secret, a catastrophic moral failing from his past that he had buried and never confessed, involving a lie that had ended an innocent man's career. His public piety was a heavy armor, meant not to protect him from the world, but to shield him from his own conscience. The more fiercely he judged others, the more desperately he tried to convince himself that he was worthy of God's grace. The plank finally came crashing down when a massive investigation revealed his hidden act. His career, reputation, and carefully constructed world crumbled in a single day. Stripped of his authority and forced into mandatory community service, the disgraced judge was assigned to a local outreach center. To his profound shock, the center was run by Amara, a woman he had once harshly condemned years ago for a minor financial mistake. Amara greeted him not with bitterness, but with a simple, genuine kindness that broke through his pride. She assigned him the task of listening to others without offering any judgment. If you like stories that make you reflect on life's choices and overcoming adversity, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next ones. One afternoon, Elias confided his past to Amara, expecting condemnation. Instead, she gently quoted the very verse he often used to judge others. "Judge Elias," she whispered, "your judgment of the world was merely a distraction from the guilt that was crushing your heart. God's grace is not earned by condemning others, but by healing yourself. Forgiveness begins with the plank in your own eye." Seeing his own hypocrisy reflected in the eyes of the person he had wronged, the judge finally understood that mercy was the highest form of justice. Elias spent the rest of his time at the center not paying a debt, but earning grace. He sought out the man whose career he had ruined and, for the first time, offered a sincere, humble apology. He learned that true authority comes not from a judge's bench, but from the spiritual humility to admit fault. He put away his old scales of judgment and replaced them with a measure of mercy, finally finding the peace he had desperately sought. Life reminds us that the harshest judgment we cast on others is often a reflection of the guilt we hold inside. May the story of Judge Elias Thorne remind us to choose mercy over judgment and to heal ourselves before we attempt to heal the world. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and come be a part of our community of faith and resilience.